of all the different methods there are to find a career and succeed in finding the career that you want, one of the most dynamic and positive and actually effective means of finding a career is approaching companies directly.
Hello and welcome back to Future You, the podcast brought to you by graduate careers experts Prospects. I'm your host, Emily Slade, and this episode is another Q&A. This week we look at the big decisions. Education all done? Now what?
I'm Paul. I work as a careers advisor for a company called Futures for You. It's a big company based in Nottingham, but I'm based here in Norwich. My job is giving careers guidance to adults for anybody from 18 up to 100. There's no age limit. The best way I try to explain my job is, I don't know if you've ever been on a long train journey where you find yourself talking to a complete stranger and you find yourself telling that person your complete life history, skeletons in the cupboard. Well, in a way, that's how my job works. Just maybe as a complete stranger, a neutral outsider, we can sort of help you cut through the emotions, the fears, anxieties, expectations, the ideas, to help you kind of sort of see the wood for the trees, to help, hopefully you can be honest and you can be really clear up front about who you are, the ideas you have, and it's a conversation.
Yeah.
I can give suggestions, I can give ideas, information, recommendations, but always we want you, the individual, to say, what's your dream? What's your goal? What do you want to achieve in life?
That's brilliant. Well, the theme of the Q&A today is, what do I want to do with my life? We've had questions written by me and sent in by our listeners, so we're just going to go through them one by one. Where can I find careers, ideas and inspiration if I'm unsure?
There are websites you can go to. There are places where you can find information quite easily, quite accessible. Prospects is kind of sort of the go-to website for graduates because it's specifically designed for graduates. So there, if you go on to their browse by sector, you can find information about specific career sectors and specific job ideas. You can also, there's also a section there called Careers Advice, and there you can find ideas of careers that match the degree you have taken. There's also the National Careers Service website. That is more kind of sort of designed for adults right across the board, but it's very easy to use. It's very accessible, where you can explore career ideas. You can do what we call psychometric testing, a kind of careers analysis, what is called a skills health check, where the website will ask you lots of questions about your interests and then match those interests to sort of job ideas to think about.
Brilliant. That was perfect. Thank you. So this is from Dan. How can I know what type of job might be right for me?
How might you know whether a job is right for you?
It's a big question, isn't it?
That is a big question. When it comes to kind of getting a handle on choosing the career path you want, I think there are three distinct elements. There's the knowledge element, there's the skills come strengths and values element, and there's also the confidence element. The knowledge is about doing your research. It's about kind of understanding the career that you're interested in and getting as much information about that career as possible. It's about understanding and carefully reading the job profile. And it's also self-knowledge. I hate using the word self-awareness, but it's about understanding who you are as a person, what you want from a career or job besides money, and who you are, what makes you tick, what are the things that you think are important. So it's gaining knowledge. The other element is the skills, the values, the strengths that we all have. In my experience as a careers advisor, people underestimate their skills. From the very top people who I talk to, managing directors, to single mums, to students, graduates, people tend to underestimate their achievements. And I think it's quite hard actually to be objective about your skills. And part of my job as a careers advisor is to help you articulate and draw those strengths out so they come to the surface. And it's just not about qualifications. It's not just about technical skills, although those things are important. It's things like resilience. It's things about problem solving. It's things about determination, enthusiasm, the qualities that make you unique as an individual. And then the other thing is confidence, because without a doubt, you want to have some degree of confidence about this is a job that is worth your time, effort, blood, sweat and tears to apply for. And confidence, in my opinion, is like fitness. There are things that you can do to improve your confidence, and there are things that can happen that can diminish that confidence. And so the thing that I'm always trying to gauge when I'm talking to people is, what are the things that kind of get you excited? What are the things that you care about? Because those are the things where your confidence will be, the things that matter to you. Mm-hmm. So once we can get an understanding of what really matters to you, what's going to get you engaged, what's going to get you up in the morning to go into a job that you really want to do because it's important to you. So it's knowledge, skills, confidence.
Perfect. Thank you. I have an idea of what I might like to do. How can I find out what I could earn?
The quickest way is simply just go onto a website like Indeed, and if you know what you want to do, just go onto Indeed, Google, if you're looking for an accountancy type job, Google accountant jobs in Norwich, and that'll bring up real job adverts. That'll tell you the salary. You can go onto the careers website. That can tell you the average salary for jobs in your particular area. There's a website called lmiforall.org.uk. You can find out about salaries on websites. But to me, the quickest way is just look at real jobs for this area. That can tell you.
Okay, this is from Kitty. If I'm not sure what my skills and strengths are, how can I find out?
Come speak to a careers advisor, because it's a big part of careers guidance. It's part of my job to get you talking about the things that you enjoy, the things that you've achieved so far, the things that you have a natural interest in doing. Everybody has skills. Everybody has strengths. If you're the kind of person who enjoys doing psychometric testing, there's a whole range of websites that you could go to do a skills analysis. I've already mentioned the skills health check on the National Careers Service website. There's another analysis called the Buzz Quiz, 16 personalities. There's actually a website called skillsstrength.com. So you know, if you're into that kind of thing, have a go, because it will deliberately give you a positive assessment of how that particular website analyzes your skills. And it's a good starting point, because we have to accentuate the positive. And the more positive you can be about your achievements, your values, your skills, building that confidence, the more motivated you're going to be in applying for the job you want.
Mm-hmm. What is your number one piece of advice for people thinking about their careers?
Oh, gosh. That's, I could have 101. Mm-hmm. Can I have two? Am I allowed to have two?
Go for it.
The first one that came to my mind it's from a line in Hamlet in Shakespeare, and it's a message that Polonius gives to his son who's about to embark on his journey. And I'm sure people have heard it before, but the actual line is, "Unto thyself be true." And it's I think that is the number one thing that I'm trying to convey to people is, one, be yourself. Be the person that you are meant to be, and don't compare yourself to others. Mm-hmm. But as Shakespeare put it, unto thyself be true. I was looking at a book recently by this Australian nurse who wrote a book. It sounds a bit melancholy, because it was a book she was a palliative care nurse, and she wrote a book called The 5 Main Regrets That People Have When They Know Their Life is Limited. They know there's only a short time they have still left on this earth. And the number one regret that people had, they wish they had more courage to do the thing that they really wanted to do, and not the thing that other people expected them to do. And it's all about finding that unique voice, that unique identity, that individuality we all have. And it's just being able to express it and find the place where you can be that person. Mm-hmm. There was a great question that was put to some sixth formers. And this question was given to these sixth formers: how would you describe the difference between fitting in and belonging? And One of the sixth formers said, well, when you're fitting in, you've got to try harder to fit in with the people around you. And the truth be told, the people aren't really that bothered whether you are there or not. But when you find the place where you belong, you don't have to perform so hard because your natural skills, personality and talent will come out. And also people do care whether you are there or not. And as a careers service, we're trying to help people find out where do they belong. But unto thyself be true.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
The Career Happiness Podcast is hosted by Soma Ghosh.
Talent is what we have. Strength is what we have to get to, and that's through the investment of that talent.
Businesses don't benefit from everyone acting and behaving the same. They benefit from diversity. They benefit from different opinions and different approaches.
My interest in journalism and being a journalist, and I'm happy to let you know how that went, because there are some good careers lessons in there too.
If you are a professional, business owner, or parent of a teen, the Career Happiness Podcast will help you think about careers in a unique way and gives you a resource that allows you to invest in your well-being and career happiness journey.
Okay, this is from Rachel. What are good ways to get work experience?
There's so many places so many things you can think about. You want to find specific, you know what you want to do. Every industry, if you go onto a website, you'll find institutions and organizations that can tell you about how to get work experience. If you're looking for a career in the legal professions, there'll be law placements, vacation placements. Companies will offer vacation placements for you to sort of like experiment to see if it actually is a field that would really interest you. One thing that I would always recommend is contact companies directly. If it's just an idea, but you want to see if it's the right thing for you, contact companies directly with what we call a speculative inquiry and ask about either internships, which tend to last about 3 or 4 months, job shadowing, which could just be a matter of days, or just simply to be there as a volunteer to see, just to purposely get insight, experience and knowledge of a particular industry to find out, is this right for me? Take the initiative. A lot of universities who offer degrees with work placements, they would usually have a careers office which would have a database of companies that offer work placements. And they could be a source of information to actually find companies who are willing and keen and interested in talking to graduates. Of all the different methods there are to find a career and succeed in finding the career that you want, one of the most dynamic and positive and actually effective means of finding a career is approaching companies directly with a speculative approach. Not just saying, have you got a job, but being upfront about what you are looking for, whether you are exploring and just trying to find things out, whether you've got a specific job idea. According to LinkedIn, 60% of the UK job market is what's called the hidden job market. In other words, jobs that you see advertised, whether they're through jobs fairs, whether they're through websites like Indeed, Total Jobs, CV Library, only represent 40% of jobs that are out there. So in other words, it really does pay to approach companies, because taking that initiative, having the courage and boldness to do so, but not being vague or wishy-washy, but being as bold and as clear as possible about who you are, what you're looking to achieve, and can you help me?
Yeah.
Can you help me? Just 3 simple words. Can you help me? 4 words. Maths is not my thing. But can you help me? But tell them what kind of help you need.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, this is from Lewis. How do I figure out what to do with my life?
Okay. Every career has 3 distinct elements. What, who, and where. The where one's easy to explain. Every job has a culture, a physical location, and an environment. So even if you don't know what it is, what job, what career, what direction you want to go in, it's getting an idea of the kind of world you do want to work in. Is it indoors, outdoors? The more kind of sort of precise you can be, then the better able you are to find that job that you want. But it's just, we've all got to start somewhere. So it's getting an idea of the kind of world you want to be in. Is it a corporate global company? Is it a small family business? Is it high tech, cutting edge digital technology? Is it a service, hospital, library? Is it a modern office building? Is it civil service? Is it government? Is it science? Is getting a sense of the kind of world that attracts you. Are you by yourself? What does that world look like? And what do you look like? How do you see yourself? Are you somebody who wants to be looking smart, going to work, making an impact, an impression? Do you prefer being casual? Are you wearing a uniform? It's what does that world look like? What do you look like? That's the where. The other aspect is the who. Truth of it is, people are complex, but generally speaking, certain careers will attract certain kinds of people. And it took me a long, long time to understand the social aspect of work, because I think when I was a teenager, I used to think, well, so long as you just do your job, you'll be okay, you'll be fine. But that isn't enough. You want to be with people who you have similar interests and ideals and expectations, because it will make your job a lot easier if you're with like-minded people. When you're not in the right job, somehow there'll just be an undercurrent, there'll be a friction, you just won't be able to connect to people around you. So it's getting a feel for the kind of people that you feel the most confident with. Are they entrepreneurs? Are they business people? Are they just simply people who want to go to work, finish at 5 o'clock and then go home and do whatever you want to do? Are they people who have a mission, interested in the emergency services, the police, the military, the ambulance service? Are they people who like that kind of sort of dynamic physical world? Are they more kind of digital technology people, engineers? Who do you feel comfortable with? Are they patients? Are they the elderly? Are they children? But the really crucial bit is the what. Every job has a jargon, a language, will have words attached to that job. It's getting a sense of the kind of words that define you, the kind of words that kind of engage your attention and interest. Because when you know what those words are, like for example, if I just give you some words, curiosity, equality, mission, time optimizer. Are you somebody who's a good planner, a good organizer? Are you somebody who likes to take charge? Adventure, self-belief. Are you somebody who's kind of steering towards the kind of mentoring, motivation, the therapy, the nursing type jobs, careers? Explainer, innovation, humor. Are you somebody who you're a people person and you get a great deal of energy from just simply engaging with people, customers? If you're working with the public, there's one thing you do need to have, I can guarantee, is a sense of humor. So you've got to have a sense of perspective, because you're not going to like everybody who you talk to, and they're not going to like you. But to have a sense of humor can make a difference. So there are words, phrases, subjects connected to a job that will either engage your intention, get you involved, get you excited, or there'll be just words that will just kind of, you'll switch off. So yeah, what, who, and where.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that. Okay, this is from Matt. Do I have to make sure I'm using my degree straight away?
It depends. When I was looking at the Prospects website recently, there's a website within the website called The Mirror. And according to this website, from last year, 2023, a great many graduates took 7 months to find the job that they wanted. And apparently in 2023, less than half the people who graduated last year found a career connected to the degree that they did. So it's not a disaster if you can't find the job that you want in that first year, that first summer, but there are advantages. I mean, when I was at university, I was always very optimistic. I had some friends who had already applied for the graduate trainee programs. After graduation, they knew exactly what they were going to do. And sure enough, they had got their job interviews, they'd got their placements all planned, organised, set up. But I wasn't one of those people. I think if you know what you want to do, and because there are some industries that are very competitive, the sooner you start to apply for those jobs, you do have an advantage, because you'll have a broader range of employers to think about, to contact, and you have more time to, hopefully, if you are ahead of the game, you've got time to assimilate what employers are looking for and to prepare yourself. But if you're not sure what you're looking for, then experiment. You know, explore, have curiosity, try different things, because the statistics show that you're actually in the majority. And the thing I always say to people is that it's always good to work. And I think all of us, when we have to, we will earn a job because we want money. But what we want to be able to do is have a goal. And if we know what that goal is or some idea of that goal, we can compromise. We can do a job in the meantime. We can do a work placement. We can do an internship. We can do a training course. But take your time, because I learned the hard way. When I graduated, I just bounced from one job to the next. And with hindsight, I really wished I could have spoken to a careers advisor or somebody who knew me well, where I could say, I'm stuck. And I think that was like a bit of pride, because I think when I graduated, I thought, well, I can sort this out myself, and I couldn't. And I had to it took a while for me to find my feet. And I do wish I could have spoken to somebody at that time, because I did jobs that I was not wired up to do. And that's the thing we're always trying to say that's what we're trying to find out. What makes you you? Where is your enthusiasm? Where's your passion? Where's your confidence? And then you'll find the thing that you want to do. It may not happen straight away, but you will.
Yeah. And there's a lot of value, I think, in knowing what you don't want to do, as you've said.
Yeah.
And if you do something and you don't like it, you're like, cool, won't do that again.
Well, that's the thing. But what's interesting is that, because this is what I love about my job, is sometimes it's like it's the crisis and the problems and the challenges that you go through that actually make you the person you become, who then moves into a career and job that is just right for you, because you've been through a lot of stuff and you want to help other people who are going through similar things. A classic case is kind of like people who I talk to who've had, say, problems with substance abuse, but they've overcome it. And the thing they want to do is pass on that wisdom, knowledge, and experience to other people who are going through the same kind of problems and issues. So, you know, I don't believe anything I don't think anything is wasted. But the thing I would say is that if you don't know what you want, be curious, try new things, but don't panic. Because it's a learning process.
Yeah.
You know, to find your voice.
Brilliant. Oh, it's the last one. What's more important, money or happiness?
Money or happiness?
It's a very existential question there.
They're both really important, because we all need money. And for sure, you don't want to be in a job where you're miserable, because you're not going to survive for very long. And one of the saddest things one of the things I remember when I first became a careers advisor, guy came to see me, had been working in a factory for about 20 odd years, and he said, I hated every day. And I thought, wow, gosh, to do a job that you hated for 20 years, and it wasn't because he was made redundant that he had to rethink his career plan. So happiness and money are very important, but there's a thing that I believe is more important. And what I believe is even more important than happiness and money is integrity. And what I mean by integrity, it comes back to what I believe is so important. It's being true to yourself. It's finding that purpose, that role, that job that best reflects your skill, ability, and purpose. I get inspired by people's stories. I was reading about a young woman called Poppy O'Toole, who was a young judge, on the Young MasterChef program. And she was Michelin trained as a chef in London. She was made redundant through the COVID period. She had to go back home because it was too expensive to live in London by herself. And her siblings kind of showed her TikTok videos. And that's what inspired her, watching TikTok videos, thinking, I can do that. And through having a love for doing things with potatoes, she becomes an influencer, she makes a reputation, she writes books, and she gets invited to be a judge on Young MasterChef. So what I'm trying to say is that do something you love. Whatever it is, whatever you're interested in, do something you love, because you never know. So long as you can keep that confidence, motivation, that interest, that love of life, who knows what can happen. But please get connected, stay connected,
Yeah.
Another piece of useless information, if you like. All the research that's been done on careers is that a major factor in being successful and finding the career that you want is staying connected, because when you're not working, one of the biggest challenges you have is isolation. And I think when you're isolated for a long period of time, you start to then doubt and question, well, what can I do? Who am I? What am I good at? But when you stay connected, whether it's through friends, family, learning a language on an adult learning course, sport, get involved with groups, organizations of like-minded people who have the same interest. When you stay connected, again, you'll be with people who you have a similar interest to, and that keeps morale intact. That hopefully can keep you at a level of confidence that's positive. So there are things that you can do that are positive, that have meaning, while you're in a period where you can't at this precise moment go into the career that you want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. That's brilliant. Yeah, well, we've reached the end of our questions. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, we're here. Come and talk to us. Speak to a careers advisor.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again to Paul for their time. For more information on figuring out what to do with your life, you can head to prospects.ac.uk. If you've enjoyed the episode, feel free to leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. For a full-length video version of this episode, make sure to check out our YouTube channel at FutureYouPod. Thank you, as always, for listening, and good luck on your journey to Future You.